So in this video, I'm going to show you how I set up categories and products in the BigCommerce system. So in the last video, we spent time kind of going through the design aspects of the product. Today, we're going to go ahead and add in our categories and our products. And again, like I said before, it's important that you have this stuff figured out before you actually start building your website. The last thing you want to do is come in here and figure out, oh, maybe I won't have it. Maybe I'm not sure what to do. And so I've actually gone about doing that. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to do this as bold, espresso, floral, and island style. And these are just kind of, you know, bold coffees, floral coffees, island style coffees, and then espresso for people that want to buy it. Now, one thing that I do not have in here, and we'll go over this a little bit later, is physical products such as coffee machines and grinders, because I'm not actually going to be selling those. I'll actually probably try and add in some Amazon links in here as well. So I'm going to move this back down over here. So one of the first things you'll do, the cart's going to want you to do, is to actually build a product. And that's actually, in my mind, the biggest mistake, because you want to actually add in your categories first. So when you come up here into your products, you can view your products, you can look at your product categories, you can look at your product options, product filtering, which is something that goes into one of the higher level ones. But what I want to do is there's two things we need to do first. First of all, we need to get our product categories. And as you can see, they give you some categories here already, right? And then they actually, what's great about BigCommerce compared to a lot of the other carts is its ease of creating nested menus, right? So you have a main menu of shop, and then you have a sub menu of accessories. And you can actually create even a subcategory to this as well. So if you wanted to do things like Apple, iPhone, accessories, you could do it 3 or 4 or 5 layers deep. So if you come over here, you're going to see they have accessories, etc. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a category. I'm going to show it to you in 2 different ways, just so you can understand. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to call this coffee, right? And I'm going to do no parent category, right? Now, if I wanted to, I could. We can do the page titles and options as well, right? But for right now, I'm going to save and exit. Right, and you can see we have coffee. And if I was to refresh this, you see we have coffee. Now, another great thing is I can move this around. So if I do this, I moved it down, you see it should be on the right here. Right? It's on the right here. And so that is one of the things I really like about this system when it comes to being able to change those around. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create another category. And this one I'm going to call bold coffee. And as you can see, it's going to create a URL for you. I'm going to add in the lorem ipsum again, but this time I'm going to do this as a subcategory underneath coffee, right? And I can do a category image if I want to, and I can do this various search engines. So we save and exit this, and go ahead and refresh it. And you can see we now have this as a subcategory. Right, so I'm going to add in one more. I'm going to call it floral, lorem ipsum again. And again, we're going to do coffee as a subcategory. Right? And I'm going to save and add another so I can go right into it. And I'm going to do, again, this will be island style, lorem ipsum again, coffee again. I'm going to save and exit this. So what you're going to see here is we hit this little button and we have all of these various items on here now. So what I could actually do, right? What I could actually do underneath coffee, and then let's say underneath bold coffee, I can add a new subcategory if I wanted to, right? And what we would do here is underneath bold coffee, we'll call this decaf, right? And so what we'll do here, I'm going to save and exit and I'll show you. Right, underneath coffee, bold coffee, and then we need to change a setting, but we can actually do we've done a subcategory under bold coffee, right? So what we'll need to do, come into so what we got to do is we have to come over to our display, and we want to change this instead of 2 categories deep to 3 categories deep. And if I do that, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to the home page. We're going to come into coffee, we're going to come into bold, and again, and you can see, you can change it. You can go 4, 5, 6 categories deep, but this way here we have it 3 categories deep. Right? So again, we'll come back into our product categories. And we have this now. So the other thing that I should be able to do, yep, is I can move these up to here if I want as well. Right? And if I go ahead and refresh again, right? Coffee, island style, floral, bold. So you can play around with your categories any way you want to. Well, now that we have our category set up, now we got to come in and do something else before we set up a product. And we have to set up our options. And the way that BigCommerce does their options is a little bit different than everybody else, because they do option sets, right? And so what we need to do is we need to come over here to product options. Right now, product options and option sets are 2 different things, right? So what you need to do when creating options in BigCommerce, and I have a separate video on this as well, you create options, you add those options into an option set, and then you attach that option set to a product that you're setting up, right? So in this case here, if you have a white t-shirt and you have small, medium, large, you'd have to do an option of small, medium, large and add that to an option set called size. And so sometimes it's a little bit extra work, but in case of coffee, we could do things like roast or grind or even size, add those into a similar option set, and we can go from there. So let's go ahead and start with that. So the first thing we're going to start with is I'm going to create my own, right? An option name is going to be grind, and this is going to be grind, and this is going to be multiple choice, and they're going to be radio buttons, right? So whole bean, and I'm going to make this the default. You don't have to, but in this case here, I want it to be, hit the little plus button, plus button, plus button, and we get fine, grind, medium, grind, and coarse grind. Right, now that we have those, we hit next, right? And we don't have any option sets right now. So we need to come back and finish this in a couple of minutes. So we're going to save this here, right? We're going to do another option, and I'm going to do this as size, right? And the sizes are going to be 16 ounce, 8 ounce, 32 ounce, right? Or we could even call this 1 pound, half a pound, and 2 pounds. Call it whatever you want. Next. And we're going to save. Now, if I go and try and attach these to a product, I won't be able to, right? I won't be able to. So what I need to do is I need to come into this option set, and I'm going to create a new option set called coffee options, right? And in this case here, we want to add in the grind, and we want to add in the size. And I can change these around. I could do size first and grind. Maybe I want to do that. And I'm going to save and keep editing. And so, as you can see, we can add rules to these a little bit later on if we want to. Or, so if I want to add in some rules right now, I'm going to create a rule. And when it's 32 ounces, I want to adjust its weight. And I want to make it fixed 32 ounces. Create another rule. I want to size, when it's 16 ounces, I want to make it, again, 16 ounces. And finally, one more rule. Size 8. I'm going to adjust its weight. Again, I'm going to make it fixed at 8 ounces. Now, the nice thing about this is this doesn't change, right? 32, 16, 8 ounces, these don't change. So I can go ahead and not have to do this on every product I set up. So now, we have our options now. We have our option sets, and we're ready to start creating a product. So we come over here to view our products, and you can see they already have a few of these set up for you. They give you some dummy stuff here, but we're gonna ignore this right now, right? So what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna start building some of this as well, right? And what I've done is I have created some descriptions and some pictures, right? And we're not going to get into all that right now. And we're going to go ahead and build a product. So I'm going to move this back over here, and I can copy and paste it in as I need to. So first thing we do, we're going to add, obviously, and Brazil Santos. This will be $16.99. I'm not going to get into tax codes right now. They are integrated with Avalara. And we'll call that Bold Coffee, and it's a physical product, and we can add a SKU if we want to. And this will be 16 ounces, right? Let's say we do 17 ounces of the shipping weight. Right, we get into the product descriptions here. I'm just going to copy and paste these. Right. And I'm going to change these to H1 and H2, and you can change this all you want. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult, and you can come in here and you can also come in here and you can change your font size. So we can do this as, let's say, 14 point, which I like a little better. Right. We can do free shipping if you wanted to. Right, we're not going to get into this. We can do a fixed shipping cost. So if you have something large that has a fixed shipping cost to it, you can do this in here, and it will override the shipping algorithm in the cart itself. Right, you can purchase it. You can do it as coming soon. You want to take pre-orders, or you could use it. The product cannot be purchased, but you can just see it as a product there. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this right now. Right now, before it used to be it would take it back, but now you can come in here and you can do your image and videos here. So I'm going to drag that in. And you can do multiple pictures, as you can see. Right, you can actually do, you can search for a video, right? And what it will do is it will add that video in there as well. Keep saving that. Right, you can track inventory here. You can either track the inventory by product, or you can track inventory down by the options level, right? So if we come to options, right now we have no option set up. So you notice there's no ability to select a particular option. You have to select an option set. So even if you only had one option, you still have to create that option plus the option set, right? So I'm going to call this coffee options, right? You can see we can create different SKUs, or we can create additional rules, right? So we can say that when the size goes up to 32, we adjust its price to, and we want to add in $15 to the price. Save and close. And I'm going to add another one. We want to adjust its price down by $5. Save and close. And you can see there's all kinds of rules that you can create in here. You can show a different image if you wanted to. You can make certain SKUs unavailable for purchase. And so you can, it's really, really functional in how you can do it. I like this. This is where it just blows away some of the other carts out there. Right, so you can add in custom fields if you want to. So if you wanted someone to customize it, you can add in a short text field. Right, there's a few other details in here. So if you have like UPCs or EANs, or you can find related products, a bin picking number if you're using things out of a warehouse. So there's a lot of different things you can do in here. And we'll call this a featured product so it shows up on the home page. Right, you can change the sort order. You can even do new, used, and refurbished. They used to not have refurb. This is something I originally requested a long time ago, and they're like, no, you can't do it. It's all hard-coded, but it looks like they've added it in. You can do minimum and maximum purchase quantity as well as, again, product level search SEO optimization. Right, and this is for if you're connecting it to some of your accounting. And then obviously, this is how you set it up to go into Google product search. So we're going to save this again, continue. Right, delivery event date. So for example, let's say you're selling flowers and someone wants to have it delivered 3 days before Valentine's Day. Boom, you've got that. And you have bulk pricing. Now, the bulk pricing it's really good. It's not 100% perfect because you can't base it on the different SKUs within your system. So instead, if you want to say, I want to give a $3 discount, but I want to give a $5 discount to the 2-pound bag, you can't do that. You essentially just have to do an overall $3 discount across the SKU, right? Not a huge deal. A lot of the other carts don't even have this functionality. So if we save this, continue, and what I want to do is I want to view it. And so as you can see, we now have our product set up. Here's the name. You can see the SEO friendly URLs there. We got a picture. If you had multiple ones, you could click through it. This will do a pop-up here, right? You can add it to wish list. Here's our product descriptions, product video, which just pulled in from YouTube, right? Which is great. If people want to do product reviews, find similar products underneath Bold Coffee, you can do that. Great little idea here. Great little idea. So you can see it's quite easy to go ahead and set this up. So if we come in to view our products, we now have the Brazil Santos in here, right? And in fact, if we go back to Gourmet Coffee, right, you can see it's on the front page because I told it it needed to be a featured product. Right, and you can do it right here. I want 16-ounce whole bean. I'm going to add it to the shopping bag. Boom, it's done. I can continue shopping. Right, so that's all I'm going to show you on this one. Obviously, you can probably see I have just a ton of these. I got Costa Rican, Guatemala, Sulawesi, right? All these down to espresso. So there's a bunch of different coffees that we can set up. But in this next video, I'm going to talk about building the various pages we need to build to go along with the products.